Life is life. You have the power to uh, do anything, and you can also rob yourself of the power to do anything. Uh, yeah. Life is. It is what it is. Life is. Anyways, in truth, man is a polluted river. One must be a sea to receive a polluted river and not be defiled. Behold, I teach you the Superman. He is this sea. In him your great contempt can go under. What is the greatest thing you can experience? It is the hour of the great contempt. The hour in which even your happiness grows loathsome to you, and your reason and your virtue also. Thus spoke Zarathustra. I am body and soul. So speaks the child. And why should one not speak like children? But the awakened, the enlightened man says, I am body entirely, and nothing beside, and soul is only a word for something in the body. The body is a great intelligence, a multiplicity with one sense, a war and peace, a herd and a herdsman. Your little intelligence, my brother, which you call spirit, is also an instrument of your body, a little instrument and toy of your great intelligence. Thus spoke Zarathustra of the despisers of the body. You say I, and you're proud of this word, but greater than this, although you will not believe in it, is your body and its great intelligence, which does not say I, but performs I. Thus spoke Zarathustra of the despisers of the body. The self is always listening and seeking. It compares, subdues, conquers, destroys. It rules and is also the ego's ruler. Behind your thoughts and feelings, my brother, stands a mighty commander, an unknown sage. He is called Self. He lives in your body. He is your body. There is more reason in your body than in your best. There is more reason in your body than in your best wisdom. And who knows for what purpose your body requires precisely your best wisdom. Yourself laughs at your ego and its proud leapings. What are these leapings and flights of thought to me? It says to itself, a byway to my goal. I am the ego's leading string, and I prompt its conceptions. The self says to the ego, feel pain. Thereupon it suffers and gives thought how to end its suffering. And it is meant to think for just that purpose. The self says to the ego, feel joy. Thereupon it rejoices and gives thought how it may often rejoice, and it is meant to think just for that purpose. Teachings upon the self and the ego. Thus spoke Zarathustra of the despisers of the body. I want to say a word to the despisers of the body. It is their esteem that produces this disesteem. What is it that created esteem and disesteem and value and will? The creative self created for itself esteem and disesteem. It created for itself joy and sorrow. The creative body created spirit for itself as a hand of its will. Even in your folly and contempt, you despisers of the body, you serve yourself. I tell you, yourself itself wants to die and turn away from life. Yourself can no longer perform that act which it most desires to perform, to create beyond itself. That is what it wishes. That is what it most wishes to do. That is its whole ardor. But now it has grown too late for that. So yourself wants to perish. You despisers of the body. Yourself wants to perish, and that is why you have become despisers of the body. For no longer are you able to create beyond yourselves, and therefore you are now angry with life and with the earth. An unconscious envy lies in the sidelong glance of your contempt. I do not go your way, you despisers of the body. You are not bridges to the Superman. Nietzsche to claimers of a world beyond. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Now, forevermore, he saw himself as the perpetrator of one deed. I call this madness. In him, the exception has become the rule. The chalk line charmed the hand, the blow he struck charmed his simple mind. I call this madness after the deed. Thus spoke Zarathustra of the pale criminal. The air thin and pure, danger near, and the spirit of a joyful wickedness. These things suit one another. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Untroubled, scornful, outrageous. That is how wisdom wants us to be. She is a woman, and never loves anyone but a warrior. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Life is hard to bear, but do not pretend to be so tender. We are all of us pretty fine asses and assesses of burden. You tell me life is hard to bear, but if it were otherwise, why should you have your pride in the morning and your resignation in the evening? Life is hard to bear, but do not pretend to be so tender. We are all of us pretty fine asses and assesses of burden. Thus spoke Zarathustra. And when I beheld my devil, I found him serious, thorough, profound, solemn. It was the spirit of gravity. Through him all things are ruined, but does not kill by anger, but by laughter. Come, let us kill the spirit of gravity. Thus spoke Zarathustra. I have learned to walk. Since then I have run. I have learned to fly. Since then I do not have to be pushed in order to move. Now I am nimble. Now I fly. Now I see myself under myself. Now a god dances within me. Thus spoke Zarathustra. If you believed more in life, you would devote yourselves less to the moment, but you have insufficient capacity for waiting, or even for laziness. Thus spoke Zarathustra. And you too, you to whom life is unrestrained labor and anxiety, are you not very weary of life? Are you not very ripe for the sermon of death? All of you, to whom unrestrained labor and the swift, the new, the strange are dear, you endure yourselves ill, your industry is flight, and will to forget yourselves. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Where solitude ceases, there the marketplace begins, and where the marketplace begins, there begins the uproar of the great actors, and the buzzing of the poisonous flies. Thus spoke Zarathustra of the flies of the marketplace. The world revolves about the inventor of new values. Imperceptibly it revolves, but the people and the glory revolve around the actor. That is the way of the world. For the hermit, the friend is always the third person. The third person is the cork that prevents the conversation of the other two from sinking to the depths. Only through evaluation is there value, and without evaluation, the nut of existence would be hollow. Hear it, you creative men. Fire of love and fire of anger glow in the name of all virtues. Higher than love of one's neighbor stands love of the most distant man and of the man of the future. Higher still than love of man, I account love of causes and of phantoms. You cannot endure to be alone with yourselves and do not love yourselves enough. Now you want to mislead your neighbor into love and gild yourselves with his mistake. I wish rather that you could not endure to be with any kind of neighbor, or with your neighbor's neighbor. Then you would have to create your friend and his overflowing heart out of yourselves. You invite in a witness when you want to speak well of yourselves, and when you have misled him into thinking well of you, you then think well of yourselves. I do not teach you the neighbor, but the friend. May the friend be to you a festival of the earth and a foretaste of the Superman. I teach you the friend and his overflowing heart, but you must understand how to be a sponge if you want to be loved by overflowing hearts. Tell me, how did gold come to have the highest value? Because it is uncommon and useless, and shining and mellow in luster, it always bestows itself. Only as an image of the highest virtue did gold come to have the highest value. Gold-like gleams the glance of the giver. Gold luster makes peace between moon and sun. The highest virtue is uncommon and useless. It is shining and mellow in luster. The highest virtue is a bestowing virtue.